think you misunderstand.
You definitely misunderstood him.
Just one moment. Is not Assyrian, Iraqi, Assyrian of the Assyrian Christians. This is not what we're talking about. We're talking about...
Right. I agree with you. You're reading from the Old Testament, but the... Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. We're hearing.
Yeah. I understand. You're reading from the Old Testament, Mr. Walid, and you're a very knowledgeable person. But the Assyrians of today, they are the first nation that accepted Christianity in the year of 53 in Edessa, which is called Orpha now. But also I would like for you guys to study the word Allah from where it came from. If you study the cuneiform in the ancient Assyria, you will find that the word Allah, it means on the fire or on the, fire. And the reason why they call them Allah, the Muslims, because they studied the Torah when Moses on the Mount Sinai was talking to God. God appeared to Moses in the bushes of fire. So Muslims, after Moses, they put this word Allah, which means on the fire, for the name of God. But Jesus Christ mentioned the name of God in you guys calling it Aramaic, but that's wrong. That's ancient Assyrian. He said, Il leman shwaktan. My God, why you are forsaking me? So the name of God, Il, was the word that Jesus pronounced. So the name of God, and the ancient Assyrian called him Ashur. It means from beginning. Ashur, it means the beginning. So please, Brother Walid, I urge you, you are very knowledgeable in history of both religions, to study the history of the Assyrian Church of the East, and also go to the cuneiform and see the word Allah, it means on the fire, and they based that word Allah because Moses, when he spoke to God on Mount Sinai, he himself, God mentioned his name to Moses. He said, my name, in English they mistranslation, but in Assyrian language he said, Ahiya Ashar Ahiya. I mean, I am the Ashur, I am the father of your forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and my name should stay forever. So the ancient Assyrian called the name of God Ashur.
Okay, thank you, brother. There's a lot of information, and Brother Walid will, I'm sure, take that in mind. Thank you so much for calling. We got so many other callers, but I do want to say we definitely respect our Assyrian brethren and the heritage of those Assyrians, our viewers. But of course, the Old Testament was written in Hebrew, and then the New Testament in English. And we know we talk about Aramaic with Jesus on the cross. But I think some of the things you're saying have definitely been challenged by other scholars. So I'm going to let Brother Walid, you would like to respond to any of that, Brother Walid?
Definitely Antichrist is not going to be an Assyrian Christian.
Okay.
That's not what we're talking about.
Okay, good.
It's about
right.
ancient Assyria.
Right.
That geographic Assyria of ancient Assyria, that's where the Antichrist comes from.
Right.
And if anyone doesn't think that the Antichrist couldn't come from there, just think about the persecution the Assyrian Christians are undergoing right now and have been. Think about back what the Turks did to the Assyrians. They killed tens of thousands of the Assyrians, the Assyrian Christians.
The term Allah he brings is an interesting one. Never heard that one described
No,
before.
I haven't heard that either. No.
But Allah is also the feminine root of Allah is mentioned in the Bible, literally. If you look at the names of the people that harassed Israel while they were building the temple, their names are given in the Bible. Tubya, Ghasham, and Sanballat. People don't stop and think about
Sanballat,
the moon god, the worship of Sin, the moon god. Allat,
the other god.
Billat, Sanballat, or daughter of Allat. And Allat is the feminine root of Allah. So the Allat worship, we know at least from the name of Sanballat that at least we can go to the time when the temple was being built in Zerubbabel and all of this. So the Allah form, we can presume that the name Allah itself
Yeah.
must also have been worshipped at that time as well,
That's
way
exactly.
before pre-Islamic.
In
name.
Jahiliyyah, yeah. Well, and this idea that people keep bringing once again, and Muslims like to say, oh, Jesus called out to Allah on the cross, and they want to go to Assyrian or Chaldean or whatever else to try to interpret the Aramaic. Actually, Aramaic is also a derivative of the Hebrew language. They're all Semitic languages. And the scholarship says, not everyone agrees, but Allah, it comes al-illah. Now, whether or not that's right, I don't know. But illah is God, is a genetic
Ilah.
Ilah. Al is the definite article the.
That's right. Al-Ilah.
Al-Ilah. But in Hebrew, El is not the definite article. El is the divine, is not the divine name, but is the name of God. God, El, Elohim, El. So when Jesus calls out Eloi, he's not saying Al-Illah. He's saying El, it's a derivative of the Hebrew. El, the very beginning of the word, is not the definite article, but God itself. This is my view. Anyways, Jesus is calling out to his Father, and thank you for your information. Maybe we can study that. Very interesting. And why don't we take the next caller right now? All right, let's take the next caller right now. Welcome, you're on the air with Jesus or Muhammad. Hello, you're on the air.
Friends, good evening, friends.
Good evening. Welcome to our program.
I greet all of you in the name of Jesus.
And you as well. Thank you, sir.
I'm very pleased for the presence of Brother Walid because he might help me in translation. My call is related to last night's show when you gave the question of the meaning of Muhammad.
Right. Okay.
And I would like to share by saying this. On the top of most of the mosques and the Muslim places, there is a big sign always in a green light. On this sign, there is a sentence consists from 2 words. We can read this as a complete sentence, and we can read this in another way as just 2 words only. It's not a sentence. So if we read it as a sentence, it's Allahu Muhammadun. Allahu Muhammadun. I will say in Arabic, Allahu Mubtada, Muhammadun Khabar. I request Mr. Walid to help me in translation. So if it is Allahu Muhammadun, it means Allah is Muhammad.
Yes.
Allahu Muhammadun.
If you take it as a sentence.
Is praised. God is praised. So in this case, no objection. God is praised.
Yeah.
So who is praised? God is praised. Who is Muhammad? God is Muhammad.
Interesting.
So, I'm wondering how Muslims call themselves and call their Prophet Muhammad, which is a name of God. This is if we read it as a sentence.
Yeah.
The other way, if we read it as just 2 words, the first word is Allah, the second word is Muhammad. So Allah, if they mean God, it's okay. Muhammad, if they mean the name of their prophet, is okay. But how it comes? They are in the same level, they are in the same size, the same features, no difference. And according to Islam belief, this is shirk.
Yeah.
This is shirk.
Right.
So, in this case, your question of yesterday is very important. I'm asking every Muslim watching us, is it Allahu Muhammadun, God is praised, or just Allah, God, and Muhammad, the name of the Prophet, and how they accept to put those different names of God and